What's up? This is Marco on the Stage Soccer Channel. You saw the title. European Super League. So yeah, we got a brand new thing right here. I think I am not alone in saying how much I hate this. It might get lost in the shuffle, but hey, I think we need as many voices coming up against this stupid league as possible. I mean, this would be one thing if it was done for like competition or, trying to get the best out of everything. No, this is only done for money. This is just done for money because the top clubs want to get richer. They're afraid of falling off. That's all it is. And yeah, it sucks because it'd be one thing if this was actually the top 12 clubs in Europe or the world or anything, but it's not. Yep. If we had let's say Arsenal's in this. Arsenal and Tottenham are in this league. Jesus, Arsenal. They haven't been relevant since Van Persie and Fabregas left them. Jeez, Arsenal. They're in, 8th, 9th right now? Just had a really bad draw. Why are they in this? What criteria was given so that Arsenal is in this league? This top league that you can't get relegated from. I'll be honest, going to this league this year, I thought that Arsenal had a better chance of getting relegated than winning the league. Honestly, they were not going to win this league. Fuck. Do you remember 2015, 2016? The year Leicester won it? That was a down year for United. It was a down year for City. Chelsea was going through Mourinho's third year. Tottenham and Arsenal had a chance. They blew it. They let Leicester beat them. A Leicester team that's better than them. I don't think when's the last time Arsenal was in the Champions League quarterfinals? Because Leicester done that. Arsenal haven't won the league since 2004. Arsene Wenger was there. Since the beginning of Wenger's reign. That was the first half of it. They have not won the league since then. And don't even get me started on Tottenham, who haven't won the league since the 60s, have won a European competition since, the mid-80s? They get a League Cup every 10 years. That's all they are. A League Cup every 10 years, and they think they're good enough to be in this league. Screw Tottenham. Screw Arsenal. They don't deserve it. Tottenham's best player is getting brought up in conversations saying he needs to leave the club because he's not going to win trophies otherwise. And that's a team that they thought was eligible for this amazing, never get relegated type thing. Why? Just because they're a Big Six club? Staying in England, Leicester deserve it more. Going outside of it, I think the French teams, Portuguese teams, all them, they're against it. Or German, meant to say them. Well, for now, I should say. But Tottenham and Arsenal? While we're on the subject of Arsenal, if your fans are getting mad at me, just that owner, Stan Kroenke, he's already moved clubs. You're on the decline. Tottenham's actually looking pretty good. They got a brand new stadium. You already got rid of Highbury. Don't think he's against moving you. He's done it before, and if this thing is going worldwide, like it very well might, get ready for Arsenal Los Angeles. You might not even be in London, and that might sound harsh, but honestly, I think there's a decent chance that Arsenal leave London. I'll put it this way. There's a better chance that Arsenal leaves London than they actually win this competition. Because they're Arsenal Tottenham bums. They don't deserve to be there. And while we're at it, Man City, get ready to play your games in the Middle East because you're number 2 in your own city. There's a good chance you get moved too. Because if we're treating this like a Super League, it's going in American style, and you hear my voice, I'm American. The channel's named Sage of Soccer. It's obvious. There's a reason why I cover soccer and not basketball. Do you know how annoying the NBA is? How they rig the league for the Lakers every year? Seriously, go back and watch LeBron James' career. Oh, the Cavs win the draft lottery. The Cavs win the draft lottery. The Cavs win the draft lottery. Oh, the Pelicans win. The Lakers get a really good pick. Yeah. You do not want that. Man, jeez, I can really see them not wanting. I can see teams getting moved. Because while we're at it, Inter and AC Milan, They're both in the same city. You think they like that? You think they like having to share an arena? There's a good chance one of them moves. Not just across town. I mean, China's got a lot of money right now. New York, they could use a team. LA? Maybe in Brazil, who knows? But if we're ruining tradition, hey, everything's up in the air. I mean, geez, the Milan club's real. Like, Napoli's been putting together some decent teams. Milan. I get the historical side of it. Like, they were a great club up till what, like beginning of this decade, but they're not a good club now. Seriously, like, if I was telling you, oh, Arsenal against Milan, that's a game that's going to happen, you'd probably think, okay, decent Europa League round of 16 game. Inter Tottenham, oh, that's the Gareth Bale game in the Champions League group stage. This isn't some super competition. This isn't some Super League. Super League's... This isn't even a great competition. Like, if we were getting, like, PSG, Bayern, City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, like, if those guys were the teams that couldn't get relegated, it would still suck. But, okay, I can see it. You're giving clubs that have already started declining a permanent spot. Why? Why would you do that? That makes no sense. Also, just one more club. Why is Atlético in this? Are we still pretending Atlético is some great team? They had a couple of decent runs where they made a Champions League final. They got a fluke league victory. That's what it was. It was a fluke league victory. Remember what Barcelona was going through at the time? Finding a coach? Like, this era's Valencia. Valencia, they haven't, fallen off completely, but they're not the team that's making Champions League finals like they were. It's just a cycle. They're going up and down. And we're just trying to encapsulate that right now? What gives Atlético the right to do that? Seriously, who would you take? This Atlético team with a washed-up Luis Suarez up front? Or do you take, like, a Deportivo La Coruña from the early 2000s? The Valencia teams I mentioned. Fuck Sevilla! Sevilla's been killing in the Europa League. Let's get Sevilla in there. What gives Atlético the right? I don't know. I've never been a fan of them. And while we're at teams, I'm just going to be going at every single team. Liverpool, they deserve to be there, but really, now's the time you're pushing for this? Now? Not when you had John Flanagan and Martin Skrtel as your starters? Now's the time you really want to go through with this, because they're a big part of this. Tottenham couldn't have got this through. Like, the English teams had to agree. United, they sold their soul already. City, they sold their soul. Chelsea, and Arsenal, okay, maybe either way. Maybe they couldn't have, but do you think that Liverpool would be pushing this through if they weren't the really good team that they are now? Just opportunists. They're scumbags, but shout out to James Milner. He just talked out against them, and obviously this is nothing against the players. Not against most of them anyway. But, yeah, it just sucks for Liverpool. Like, you're going to be a club that pretends to have these great morals and everything. You just went along with this. Not going to go any further. I could go further, but not going to go any further. Okay, so Manchester United, pre-2013, I could see them being there. Ferguson team, they're like a soft Arsenal. They're declining. I think they're declining. I think if nothing would have happened, they might be in a similar situation to Arsenal. I don't know, because they actually have like a huge brand with them, so I feel like they'd always attract players. They'd always be a huge team. So not like Arsenal, and I feel like if you're going to have this, you have to have Manchester United here, but they're declining and they want to stick. They want to make sure that nothing bad happens to them, and I understand it, but still, you sold your souls. Whatever. I'm going to say that again, just selling your souls, because this is a Manchester United club. I think earlier on, like, not even when I started watching, this was already gone after I started, like, really getting into the game in Europe, but, and they had already, this wasn't the club that brought through the class of '92, the Matt Bubsby Club. They like trying to say this without sounding like a hipster or anything, but they sold out. Like that, it is what it is. If they had results to go with it, whatever. But right now they're just making money, you know. And while we're at that, Barcelona, I mean, we know what they did. I mean, they went from not having sponsors to UNICEF on their logo, and now Qatar Airways. And I don't want to like get too against countries because America has a lot of its own problems, but really Qatar, I mean, we know everything that's going on right there to make this World Cup happen. You're just going to put them on your shirt. I don't know. I don't like it. And how many teams doing this are sponsored by Fly Emirates? I'm just wondering. Probably a lot. I think PSG are and they aren't, so... No, that's not it or anything. No, I'm just talking right now. I'm pissed off. But yeah, it's like Manchester United. Everybody, like... I don't think that you had to like them, but you had to like how they were playing. Like, bringing through Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Pedro, Busquets, Puyol... Got everybody I'm forgetting, like, all of them would just come through the academy, play in the first team. You'd bring in some really good guys like Dani Alves. You'd play attacking, you'd play the right way, and now it's just, they're Galacticos at this point. They might not want to admit it, but, like, Griezmann, you just pay a lot for him. Even guys like Serginho Dest, he's looking good, just pay for him. No. Like, if you've been following me since like the Blitz team days, I've talked about this before, but yeah, Barcelona sold their soul again. It is what it is. On to Real Madrid, and I'll be honest, I kind of almost respect them. I mean, like, with a club like United and Barcelona, I feel like they've gone against their principles. This has always been Madrid. You know, buying players, trying to make as much money as possible. And they were the ones who were really pushing for it. Yeah, you almost respect it. Just unabashedly evil. Like, it's like Tom Brady. You know, screw him. I hate this guy. He's so good, but he's so good. You know, kind of respect it. I mean, they're doing what they want to do, making everybody go along with it. Just embracing it. So, you know what? Fair play to Real Madrid. Similar to Juventus, Chelsea, I mean... You know, Chelsea, they bought themselves into the game. Started getting really good lately. They've been consistent for a while, you know. I don't think they're going to fall off anytime soon. Juventus, they've won like 10 straight Serie A's. Even if they are down this year, I think they deserve to be in this league. They're going to do it, so, you know, is what it is. But still, screw all of them for allowing this to happen. Yeah, it sucks. I mean... There's a lot of clubs that are dying, doing everything they can to hold on to relevancy. And it's something that shouldn't be allowed in a sport that embraces promotion and relegation. And I'm really hoping just that this falls through due to the public backlash and these clubs get punished. I feel like it'd be hilarious if you gave like all these clubs in England like a 25-point reduction and just see Tottenham and Arsenal get relegated. Like, that'd just be awesome to see happen. I feel like it's coming. It's just having to. They're gonna fall off, even if they go into this league. They're not gonna do anything. They historically haven't. You know, there's something about putting on that Tottenham shirt that just makes you just suck when moments matters. You know, onto the positives. I mentioned before the German club said no. Bayern Munich said no. And when you have the reigning champion, probably the best club in Europe, just say, no, not having a part of it. It takes away the legitimacy of this. And honestly, huge respect to Bayern. I was thinking about throwing on Germany's shirt before this, but I was like, no, they're probably going to join anyway. So yeah, this is probably going to be dated in a few days, but right now, respect to Bayern, and can't believe I'm about to praise PSG for having integrity. You know, I just went on a rant about Qatar, but PSG owned by Qatar, and they're having the integrity. They're saying screw this. You know, Who knows why they're doing it? Maybe it's money related too. Maybe they're so good they don't need to do it. But they're getting a lot of fans right now, and man, they've got a lot of marketable players, like guys like Mbappe, Neymar. This might be PSG just becoming a huge fan favorite around the world right now. Just really interesting. But they're probably going to get added later with Bayern and probably Dortmund, maybe Ajax. It just sucks. The sport's become so invested in like the business side of things. It's all about money right now to these guys. I could honestly see a team like Manchester United like just just not signing somebody because the money wouldn't be there. They probably wouldn't make it back. Like, I don't know. Would Manchester United sign a guy like Gary Neville right now? Just a decent player, not going to be marked. He's actually, that's a bad example. He was pretty good in the media the whole time, but what would be an example? Like, just signing some solid player. Like, would they sign like a guy like N'Golo Kante, I guess, would be an example. Solid player, would really help the team, but not a big name. Before he really made it big at Chelsea, he wasn't going to sell shirts. Even when Leicester won the league, I think the attention was more on Vardy and Mahrez, which honestly it should have been. They were doing really well, but Conte was flying under the radar. Would Manchester United buy a team? Would they buy a guy like Conte and just improve the team? Or would they buy Pogba, who's a solid player, really good, creative guy? Obviously, he's got more marketability, but would you rather Pogba or Conte in a team? I don't know. Man, it just sucks. Like right now, I'm kind of happy that I'm covering a national team because it's just, purer, I guess. I mean, there's obviously some money because of the whole women's team thing going on right now, but it's so like minuscule that, especially for like these pro athletes, that doesn't really matter. And it's just nice to see this pure competition. And if FIFA's going to be restricting players from playing in international competitions if they're in the Super League, that just makes things even worse. It's just, this is just going to be bad for the sport. And I think that a lot of people are really seeing just how just straight up evil these guys are. Like when you're sacrificing the integrity of your field just for money, like that's evil. That's wrong. And yeah, hopefully this doesn't go through. Hopefully Backlash stops it, and if it does, I'm going to avoid covering it because I still have to decide. I'm either going to avoid covering it or I'm going to cover it with as much intent to make this channel grow as possible. Just straight up using it to benefit me because that's what it is. And if these guys are going to be assholes, I'm going to be assholes to them. I was trying not to curse, but fuck it, it's happened. Yeah, that's about everything I wanted to talk about. I'm still pissed off at Arsenal and Tottenham. What gives them the right? They haven't done shit. Let's be honest. Arsenal, one decent Champions League run. Oh, they had that undefeated season with a bunch of players who are retired now. Who cares? It's a league that's stuck in the past, and it's stuck in the past and trying to seal this 2007 best teams and put them into a bubble, and I don't know. All the investment that you see, I root for Crystal Palace because when I started watching it and when I was really getting into European soccer in 2013, they were going on an amazing run. Wilfried Zaha was on such a tear that Manchester United bought him, but then they loaned him back to Crystal Palace, and he was able to lead them to promotion. It's such a fun team with him. Yannick Bolasie, Johnny Williams, you had a Glenn Murray, Mile Jedinak, and just a really fun team. And it's like, is there a point to supporting them if they're not going to be allowed in this league? Like, winning a top flight competition, that's like important and all, but like Crystal Palace, their only main trophy is the Zenith Data Cup in '91, and people don't even talk about that because a lot of the bigger clubs just said, screw it, this is a dumb competition, we're not going to compete in it. And if it's like that, then this new Premier League without Liverpool, United, City, Chelsea, those bums in North London, it's not going to be important. It's not going to be viewed as anything. Man, it just sucks because, like, Leicester are better than Arsenal and Tottenham right now. And they're a young team that's only going to get better. Them James Maddison, Yuri Tielemans, and Ndidi, they're young players. Iheanacho's only getting better. Vardy doesn't seem to age, along with Schmeichel. You got Ricardo Pereira, he's probably starting for Portugal. He's better than freaking Cedric. And James Justin has been great. Castagna. They signed the right defender from France, Arsenal. You bums. Like all that doesn't mean anything because Arsenal were good in 2004. Like, I love history of the game. Me being able to tell you this should know it, but like, what's the point of any club doing anything now if it doesn't matter because they weren't good in the 70s? Your club has a ceiling right now because Arsenal won the league in '98. Yeah, why is Tottenham in this? They weren't good then. They are historically the 6th best team in England. They had a fluke Champions League final run, which involved a freak goals against Ajax, freak goals against Man City. I'm pretty sure they barely even got out of the group stage that year. Why is Tottenham in this? Like, I'm saying it again. What gives Tottenham the right to be in this league? What makes them better than Sevilla, than Leicester, than... Frick, Swansea have won a trophy since Tottenham's last won a trophy. And they're in the championship. Yeah, it's stupid. It's one thing if they were just admitted into it, just like, okay, you're a big 6 club, just give me that respect. They're never going to be allowed to get relegated. And going by history, they're never going to do anything in this league. At least a team like Leicester has shown potential to grow. Even a team like Leeds would have historical pedigree, but Tottenham, really? I know it's harsh on this one club, but it just shows that this is all money. They're a big team, so they're thrown in there, no matter how mediocre they've been. So yeah, that's how I've talked about from this. This is a stupid idea. It'll hopefully get canned, and if it doesn't, then it'll seriously affect my love for the sport. Yeah, that's all I've talked about. See ya.